Right. What are the differences between modern and traditional lifestyles? In the past, people usually lived in quite simple society, but most things such as transportation or house chores were needed more labor. Okay, just needed more labor. There you are. On the other hand, in modern society, as technology and society advance, there are a lot of machines, devices which work for people's convenience. What were the advantages or disadvantages of a traditional lifestyle? I think the biggest disadvantage is inconvenience, because I live in contemporary society that most things wear most things. Most things are very easy. For example, people can go anywhere without time wasting and get information with just one touch on a smartphone screen. Right. Why did the attitude towards traditional lifestyles change? As I mentioned earlier, this is because people are accustomed to easy lifestyle. In developed society, also that makes people become lazy and keep seeking for easier, seeking for why did the attitude? Okay, people. Okay, yes, I agree with what you're saying, but I think you haven't probably developed the answer enough. People are accustomed to an easy lifestyle in developed society, but why would that change their attitude towards a traditional lifestyle? What are you saying, that people become lazy, which is true, but why would that change their attitude towards a traditional lifestyle?
I think the question is too broad.
Yes. But that's true. But if a question is very broad, that gives you the option to interpret it in a way that you want. But you've still got to give a little bit more. I think a little bit more in this one.
Yeah.
I think to me the easier way to answer this. I agree that people have become lazy, but I think one of the easiest things to point out the difference is that people working in a traditional lifestyle spend a lot of time outside.
Yeah.
So they tend to get sunburnt or tanned, so their skins are very dark.
Yeah.
Also, the jobs that they do are, in terms of getting their hands in the soil, if they're planting things, would be considered to be dirty jobs, even if it's not really dirty or unhealthy. But it's compared to sitting in an office, it's a dirty job. Yeah. So I would say that would be that those two things about people being, having to work outside in all sorts of different weathers, in the extreme heat in the summer, or the cold or the wet in the autumn or spring or winter. I would say that people who work in a modern lifestyle would feel perhaps that they are superior to people who have to work in a traditional lifestyle, because in a modern lifestyle it's easier. They can sit at a desk, they're in air-conditioned space, they don't get suntanned or anything like that. So from that point of view, they probably consider themselves to be superior.
Superior?
Yeah.
Superior?
I'm basing my answer on the attitude of Hong Kong people towards people who live outside. So
Yes. Ah.
so what I found when I worked in Hong Kong, and you know, I grew up in the countryside. Although I wasn't, my family weren't farmers, but we were surrounded by farms. We lived in a country area. So for me, for me it was a very normal. All of my school friends were farmers. So if I went to see my friends, I'd go and fool around and mess around on their farms, and I enjoyed it. I enjoy that kind of environment, which is why, you know, all the way through my adult life, I've always tried to live in country areas. Not in cities. I've tried to. The last 5 years, I've lived in a city, but that wasn't my plan. Um, when I was in Hong Kong, the first thing I noticed about people there was that the office staff, our job particularly was environmental science. And as environmental scientists, we should be outside looking at the environment and checking various things, whether it's water quality, air quality, ecological quality, all of those sort of things. We need to be outside. But most of my Chinese colleagues really hated to leave the office because if they were outside, they'd get sweaty and they'd get some dust on their nice clean shoes, and their ties would get tangled in the undergrowth or something like that. They all like to wear very nice suits, and I just used to turn up in jeans and t-shirts and go out there and do the job, and they'd all be sort of like hanging around with an umbrella over them, trying to keep the sun off them, because they didn't want to get brown. And they said that we don't like being out here. We'd rather be in the office. So I think a lot of people in modern life don't like to get their hands dirty. They don't like to walk around in sunshine or the heat or the rain or the cold. They just want to have a comfortable existence. And I think I would say that they feel superior to other people if they see. And I think this whole thing, like here in the Philippines, I see it here as well, that people who live in the city, they want to distinguish themselves from the people who live in the countryside. Even if it's their close relatives, as soon as they leave their family and they come to the city, they want to be different. And so one of the ways that they do that is, particularly with the women, is that they use what they call them, soaps, whitening soaps.
Soaps?
A soap for washing your hand and washing your body. So they have soaps here that whiten their skin. It's got like a mild bleach in it that gets rid of the brown color of their skin. So it's obviously a class culture thing here in the Philippines, that they want to be different. They want to show that they're no longer part of the people who live out in the countryside. And they're very, very conscious of it. It's a really big thing here about if you go into most people's houses, if you go to the bathroom, you'll notice all over the bathroom whitening soap. It's really obvious, because obviously the people who live there want to make themselves white to look better. They feel that they look better, and it's very funny to a foreigner, to a Westerner. Because how do people show that they're rich in Western countries? They go to a beach and they lie on the beach in the sun and get their skin brown so that they can go back to the office 2 weeks later and say, oh, look at my lovely tan. I've just been to somewhere very expensive. So it's completely the reverse mentality of what we have in Western culture. So it's very noticeable. And of course, the other thing is, these women are lightening their skin in order, and they probably want to get a Western boyfriend, but the Western men that come here are looking for dark-skinned girls. So it's actually very funny.
Yeah, but I think Asian people want to be more white.
Yeah, I think so. I think they do.
Yeah.
But it's odd, though, isn't it? It's odd that white people want to be brown.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like the old English phrase that the grass is always greener on the other side. You know, wherever you are, you always want to go somewhere else because it's going to be better. Like you want to go and live in America because it's going to be better than being in Korea. And yet I'm sure I could go to America and easily find a lot of people who would like to go to Korea because they think it's going to be better than America. You know, it's this human mentality that somewhere over the horizon it has to be better than where we are now.
Yeah, right.
Right. Okay. Right. So what can be done to improve a person's lifestyle? Firstly, to keep exercising stimulates endorphins, so that helps people to be happy and to be positive. Secondly, making bucket lists, because while people are chasing lists, that also make people more active and get achievements. I think those could improve people's lifestyle. Okay, making improve. I would say though that specifically it should be old people have bucket lists. It's not. I don't think. Well, I suppose some young people do, but really, it's an old person's activity before they kick the bucket.
But these days we use this word a lot.
Do they? Where? In Korea? No, I suppose you're right. I suppose people do. But if you look at when that phrase became common in the language, it was because I think it was Jack Nicholson and maybe Michael Caine, two famous actors, I think, did a movie about bucket lists or the bucket list. And I think that was when the phrase became very common. And they're both very old actors. And it was about the things that I think one of them has been told by his doctor that he's going to die in 6 months. And I think he says to the doctor, I haven't actually seen the film, but I think he says to the doctor, is there anything I can do? And the doctor just says, draw up a bucket list. You know, just do all the things that you ever wanted to do.
Yeah.
And so that's where the phrase came in. And I think probably the film was very popular, and I think people are using it at a younger age. But really, it is, strictly speaking, it is about old people.
Then do I have to explain more about?
No, because everyone will know. I'm now going to prove to you that I'm not wrong, because you're looking a little bit suspicious what I'm saying here. So right, okay, bucket list. Yeah, 2007. The film was in 2007. Okay, let's see what it says. Who was in it? I know who was in it. It wasn't. It was Jack Nicholson and Morgan Freeman, actually.
Morgan Freeman.
I thought it was Michael Caine, but there we are. Okay, you can download that and watch it later. It'll help improve your English, and you'll enjoy the film. I think it was a comedy. I think it was a comedy. So it got very good ratings at the time. So
Okay, thanks.
Okay, no, you don't need to change your answer. Your answer's fine. It's okay. All right. Do you follow fashion trends?
I think I do, but because in Korea, I think every person follow fashion trends. If they don't, then they feel neglect.
They feel neglected?
Yeah.
By who? Neglected? Do you mean neglected or isolated?
isolated.
Right. Okay. Right. So, what style of clothes do you prefer to wear?
I like I like simple. I like to wear simple clothes like just jeans and t-shirts because it's more comfortable to behave, act, to to do anything. And I don't like skirt. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Moving on to another topic. So, do you worry about being late for appointments?
Yes, because I think uh, uh, I think that being late is makes trust makes being late makes make to break trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think trust is very important, so I try to uh, try to try to be late. Try to don't be late.
I try not to be late. I try not to be late.
Be late. Yeah. I try not to be late.
Mm-hmm.
Try not.
Right. How do you normally manage your time?
I think I usually write my plan in Google Calendar because I can see anytime with my smartphone or email, like PC. Yeah, I think it's best way to manage my time. Yeah.
Okay. Do you consider yourself to be a punctual person?
Yes, I'm a quite punctual person because I always try to be like that and I don't like people no. Yeah, I punctual person.
Okay. I'm struggling to remember what your answer was there because that went on for quite a long time. So, do you consider yourself to be a punctual person?
Yes, I think I'm a quite punctual person because I always try to be on time.
Okay. All right. So do you try to be on time or do you try to arrive early?
Before the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then only.
Early. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next one. So, how do you feel? I think you've already said this. How do you feel about other people if they arrive late for a meeting or appointment?
Oh, other people?
Hmm.
Uh, I think it depends on person. But to be late is uh, it, uh, to be late could be a kind of habit.
Yeah.
So I think just it depends.
It depends on the person. I think it also depends on the reason that they give. If they give you a good reason why they're late, you know, there was an accident along the way, or they got stuck in a line of traffic or something like that. I think if it's beyond their ability to do anything about it, then I think you just have to accept it. But as you say, if it's something that they do regularly or all the time, that they're always late,
Mm-hmm.
I think then it's their habit, and it's a pretty bad habit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's a way around that. If you know that's the people's habit,
Mm-hmm.
then you always set the time half an hour earlier,
Yeah.
and then you show up at the real time,
Yeah.
just as they're getting there. So,
Yeah. Right.
and never ever tell them what you're doing. Right. Do you think it's important for a person to celebrate his or her birthday?
Uh, I don't like to say it's important, but sometimes it's necessary to make people more happier,
No, more happy is right. More
uh,
happy is okay. Yeah.
happy. Yeah. Also, if I could say it's important, but some people don't have many friends or have don't have time to celebrate their birthday, then I think they might be lonely, feel lonely.
Okay. Do you think that people's age has anything to do with celebrating or the importance of celebrating their birthday?
Age?
Yeah.
Mm, yes, I think young people think celebrate their birthday is important, but uh, people getting older, then it's more they don't care about celebrating. Yeah.
Yeah. Until they get very old and then they start celebrating them again.
Oh,
Well,
really?
think once they get past 80, if they get to 81, it's worth celebrating. And 82, well, I've lasted another year. 83. There's
Yeah.
there's an old guy I know here. I've known him now for probably about 7 or 8 years, and
Yeah.
he's actually originally he's English,
Oh,
but he lived for 50 years in America,
yeah.
and then he came to the Philippines. So when he came to the Philippines, he was already 80 plus, I think,
Oh,
and now he's in his 90s.
nice.
And he's he's amazingly active for his age. Really, he's amazing, and he still drives a car,
Wow.
but not far. He said that his vision's starting to affect him a
Yeah.
little bit, so he's starting to get a little bit frightened when he drives. But
Mhm.
I usually meet him in a McDonald's here in Davao City. That's when I first met him because he always goes there every day. He goes there for his breakfast,
Ah.
and I used to go there for a coffee when I dropped my kids off at school. I used to stop in there for a coffee, and because we were the only two foreigners there, we started talking
Mm.
7 or 8 years ago, and we've just become good friends. But he always makes a joke about it, about the fact that he says I'm still here.
Yeah.
I don't see him as often now, but whenever I see him, he says I'm still here. He says I'm probably going to die soon. He said, but I'm still here for the moment. So and he just makes a joke about it. He always
Yeah.
says, "Oh, I've had a good life. I don't care. It's been good and all this kind of thing." But yeah, he's amazing. Really amazing
Yeah.
old guy.
I
When he
know.
walks into the McDonald's, you'd look at him the way he walks. You'd say, "Oh, maybe he's 70 or 72 or something like that." But he looks really.
72?
He only looks about 72. He looks really fit. He's really
Yeah.
amazing. Mm. The only problem with him is that he is a bit forgetful. He
Mm.
forgets things, and
Yeah.
so almost every conversation I have with him is the same conversation I had with him the last time I met him. But he's a really nice old boy. He's a really nice guy. So
Yeah.
right, okay. Do people in Korea celebrate their birthdays?
Yes, of course. People like celebrate anything, also their birthday too. Uh, and but and also they have a party for birthday and friends give them to give give them presents also. Yeah.
Okay. How do children celebrate birthdays in your country?
Uh, Usually I think uh, they celebrate their birthday uh, monthly. So if some children birth on March, then celebrate together.
What in their class, you mean?
Yes.
So everyone that has a birthday in March celebrates at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
Mm.
Right. Okay. Okay. Right. So I'll give you 1 minute to think about the question. Okay, that's your 1 minute of thinking time.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to talk about the topic for between 1 and 2 minutes, and your time starts now.
I'm going to talk about when I helped my friends, helped a friend of mine. It was maybe 3 to 4 years ago. I met him when when I stayed in the US for a while. Uh, and we met again in Korea because at that time he was a university student and he wanted to exchange student in Korea, so he came here and he had to rent a flat. So I helped him to rent a flat because he didn't know any Korean, so he couldn't conversation with their landlord or landlady. So yes, so I borrowed some money too because his father sent the money to him, but it took a few days, so I also borrowed the money to him.
Okay, that's your 2 minutes. Okay, so two things. You borrowed money. You lent or you loaned money to him. He borrowed money from you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And the other thing was you said that he couldn't conversation. I think you said.
Couldn't have a conversation.
But I don't think that's what you said. I think you said. What you actually said was he couldn't conversation with the landlady or the landlord or something like that. He couldn't. So you could say he couldn't converse with them, or he couldn't have a conversation with them.
Have a conversation. Thank you.
It's all right. Okay, so
maybe I know already, but
when you're speaking, no, of course, when you're speaking, you're thinking about the story, and so you get distracted from the grammar. I know, yeah. I mean, and native speakers do the same thing.
Oh, really?
You know, of course, yeah. If they're speaking very quickly, people make mistakes when they're speaking. So, that's why you don't have to be perfect. In order to get 7, you are allowed to make mistakes. It's normal. It's absolutely normal. You don't have to be perfect. So it's better to flow and actually say even to make a few mistakes is okay, because it's a normal way that people converse.
Okay.
Right. Right. So the part that you didn't get to, you mentioned everything there apart from explain how you felt after helping him.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yes. Of course.
I was really happy to help him, and because I really like to help people. Yeah, but we don't keep in touch anymore.
That's life. That's the way it happens sometimes. So, if you found this IELTS class useful, informative, or entertaining, please give it a like, subscribe, and share with other people who you think might benefit from these live IELTS class videos using actual examination topics. Most of the students participating in these classes are now living their dream in English-speaking countries around the world. If you want classes with me, you can contact me on X, LinkedIn, MS Teams, or Viber. Details are given in the description below or on the About page for this channel. Thank you.